I can't really tell because I'm sort of faded out there, but yeah, got a beard growing in here. Haven't shaved since I think last week. A couple reasons why mainly, but that's not important right now. What's important right now is today's is a brand new episode of Dylan Knows, episode 460, going live, coming out here at 11:34 p.m. on Saturday, August 20th. August 20th, yep. 5 days till my son turns 13, 9 days before school starts for the kids up, which means summer's coming to a close, ladies and gentlemen. I know technically it doesn't close until mid-September, but that's besides the point. Anywho, welcome along, and today's episode, we're going to take a look at a bunch of stuff. We'll do some Sandman stuff, She-Hulk stuff, Dragon Ball Z stuff, some deaths, some anniversaries, Fortnite stuff, Halloween stuff. There's even a little bit of Christmas in there as well. We're going to taste test Coke's new Dream World, which I finally found on here real quick. And what else we got? Mullet Championships, Hogwarts Legacy, driving, Girl Scout cookies. It's going to be pretty bad because I'm just looking at my handwriting here, and it looks like it's going to be really hard to read a lot of my stuff today. Oh, well. HBO Max is still in trouble. NASA rover photographs, football, animals. What the hell? Yeah, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? All right, well, let's get moving here then. First off, let us open up and try the new Coca-Cola Dream World, which is the third or fourth one. Let's see, it was the fourth one because it was this one. There was the marshmallow one, which didn't taste like marshmallow. Yes, it's got a very mango smell to it. So I guess the people who have tasted this is right. This is a very mango flavor. So let's see. Yes, this is Coke Mango. Absolutely what it is. Pepsi has a mango that does pretty well, so I guess mango is the flavor du jour in soda. Yeah, it's not bad, but if you don't like mango, this isn't for you. Mango's okay. I will swallow it down. Mountain Dew also has a mango flavor too, so there's a. So my daughter loves mango, so she might like this one as well. But yeah, so Coca-Cola Dream World tastes like mango. If you do not like mango, do not get Coca-Cola Dream World. I still haven't tried Pixels or Marshmallow because I've been able to find those. Tried the first one, the Stardust one, which was okay. Actually, I kind of liked it from what I recall. Now this one is just mango flavored. Probably won't try it again. But I guess it's their way of trying to compete in the soda wars with every soda, Pepsi and Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper doing like a bazillion flavors. So why not? This is Coke Mango, definitely. So dream flavored, I guess. Dream World. Hey, perfect for Sandman lead into. I guess dreams taste like mango. It's like how Pixels taste like. What was that? I forget they said Pixel. The Pixel one tasted like. But yeah, that segues into Sandman. Absolutely. So Sandman is the hottest show in streaming right now. Its second week, it made double. It had the double the views what the first week had, which means that it's getting word of mouth going. It is also successfully the most successful, most watched streaming show on any streamer. Excuse me, my butt itches. Most streamed is the most streamed show on all streaming services right now. So it's doing real good. And to celebrate, this past Friday, I woke up, looked at my phone, and there was, hey, guess what? Sandman just dropped a surprise episode 11. Now, we talked about this a little bit last week, how there were some pictures from Dream of a Thousand Cats and Calliope that were making its way online. But then Netflix told people who were posting them to stop posting them and take them down. Well, we know why now, because they released a special episode 11 on Friday. I haven't seen it yet because my wife and daughter are going, what is that? Kayaking. Yes, thank you. Are kayaking right now. and they want to watch it too. So that and She-Hulk started this week too. Excuse me. So we have to wait till Sunday to watch both She-Hulk and this new episode of Sandman. But for those who don't have to wait and you like Sandman, check out episode 11. It is out now. It is a probably hour-long episode with a two-parter, two stories up. Part of it, The Dream of a Thousand Cats, is animated and has a cast of thousands doing the voices, and including lots of collaborations with Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman himself is doing a voice. James McAvoy, who's done the voice for Dream during the audio dramas that the UK publishes on Audible, it has a voice in this as well. David Tennant and Michael Sheen, who worked with Gaiman on Good Omens, also do voices on this. And for a fun measure, they got their wives, Georgia, and I forget Michael's wife, has come on and done voices as well. Susan O also, I think, has done one, is doing a voice as well. There's a bunch of others, but that's the gist of it. So some good casting for the voices. Excuse me. See, I told you this is a cure for insomnia. People watching the show already getting bored and start snoring a little bit. But yes, so Sandman drops a surprise episode. She-Hulk has started this week from Disney Plus. It's gotten a ton of great reviews from everybody, and the stupid, probably Snyderverse asshole bros tried to review bomb it to make it sync, but it didn't work. It is certified fresh, and people say it is a hit. So good for that. Excuse me. Also this week, a big thing that's been talked about for a while. On Fortnite, they had the Naruto crossover where they had Naruto skins and a Naruto weapon and stuff like that a few seasons back. Well, Dragon Ball Z has been talked about for a while. Well, we got it finally on Tuesday. The new Dragon Ball Z crossover started. Dragon Ball skins and the weaponry in it, the Kamehameha, which is a power beam which kills you instantly. It's a terrible OP weapon, and their little flying globule cloud thing that is pretty good actually, that I like using. There's also things to quests to do to get special level up and some black back bling and emotes and stuff like that. So working on that. So that's going on now. It's going to go until August 31st. And then September 1st, we're going to start screaming into the end of the season. September 17th is when the new season is going to start. September 17th, September 18th is going to be somewhere around there's when the new season is going to start for Fortnite. So we got that coming up really soon. So I mentioned earlier that my wife and daughter are kayaking right now. They'll be back tomorrow. But my son and I had a nice day today. He's been playing this game on Roblox called Kaiju Universe or something like that. And so he's gotten really into kaiju like Godzilla and stuff like that. So he's asked for a lot of kaiju stuff for his birthday, which is next Thursday, or rather this upcoming Thursday, I should say. And so we bought him a bunch of stuff like that. And he wanted to watch the newer Godzilla movies, not the old school Toei ones, which sometime I hopefully will show him. But right now he wants to watch the more recent ones. So we watched the 2014 one, directed by Gareth Edwards, I think before he did Rogue One. And then we watched Godzilla King of Monsters, which was a 2017 one, 2018 one, maybe 2019, I don't know. And then Kong versus Godzilla BR watch tomorrow, because he wants to catch that one as well. Now, real quick reviews of them. The 2014 one starred Elizabeth Olsen before she really hit it big with Scarlet Witch, and Aaron Johnson, whatever, who played her brother Quicksilver. They play husband and wife in this one. And this is Bryan Cranston at the height of his Breaking Bad. Was in this as well for like a hot minute. Ken Watanabe is a big part of it as well. David Strathairn, who is a really good character actor, is in it as well. So we get it's a good setup for the movie and for the new trilogy or the new series of Godzilla monsters, better than the god-awful 1998 Roland Emmerich piece of garbage. But the problem I have is Gareth Edwards loves his darkness, and my TV is already pretty bad as it is. And I did have a Blu-ray and it's all that stuff, but I don't have I don't have all the bells and whistles because I really don't need the bells and whistles. I just wish there was some light. There was a lot of not a lot of light here in the like a lot of the movie, so it was hard to see what was actually going on in a lot of the stuff. So the climax itself was incredibly hard to see what happened. And so, excuse me. So I was kind of put off by that. Plus, right before Godzilla was supposed to fight the bad villains, they would cut to the human dramas going on. So they didn't really focus on the fights that much. Now, King of the Monsters was directed by someone else. I forget who it was. That I had no problem with the direction. He lit it well. There was a little bit more kaiju fighting in this. There was still a lot of character development in it, which was my issue with this movie as well. So far I've seen these two. Neither of them has really jumped out and made me go, God, I love this movie. My son asked me at dinner tonight when we were at the Green Turtle. I said, which one was your favorite? And I was like, ugh. I would have to go with King of the Monsters just because I could see what was going on. There was more kaijus and stuff like that. And the storyline started getting a little bit better. First one set up, obviously. The second one was where all hell breaks loose. But when you get to the human drama, that was the worst part of it. Kyle whatever from Homefront and Friday Night Lights played the lead in this. And he was a drunk who was mourning the death of his son due to Godzilla. His wife, played by Jerry's friend, I can't think of her name right now, who was in it'll come to me eventually. She was going off the rails a little bit because she thought that the kaiju should be released, and once they released, it would bring order back to the world and make the world a better place, yada yada. And she convinced her daughter, played by Millie Bobby Brown from Strange Things, to go along with it. And the mother, Vera Farmiga, that's who it is, Vera Farmiga, was okay with using these military people who were willing to kill lots of people just to free these kaiju. And she used some sort of program. She was able to control them, but it didn't quite work out when they released King Ghidorah. And so we see him, we see Rodan, we see Mothra, and we see a couple other ones that didn't really have any names, but it was kind of cool to see that, and it was kind of cool to see the battles. But the characters just... Ken Watanabe was really the only good character in that, and we had Bradley Whitford's sarcastic scientist guy who got annoying after a while. But we had some interesting characters, but the main characters we look at are not interesting. And Millie Bobby Brown was just Billy Brown or whatever her name is, was just Millie Bobby Brown, I think, was just sort of there. Didn't really do much until like near the end, and even then it was. So not too excited with those two. We'll see how Kong versus Godzilla goes. I don't have high hopes for it, but hey, my son likes it. That's fine. That's all that matters. I want him to watch that. So we watch those. So we'll see what happens along the way with that. Some deaths this week. Tom Palmer, inker extraordinaire for Marvel Comics, particularly. His run with John Buscema on Avengers is legendary. He is one of the best inkers in Marvel Universe history. He passed away this week. Director Wolfgang Peterson, the director of Air Force One, Neverending Story, Das Boot, and what the hell did I write there? Oh, director and other stuff. He passed away this week too. Sho Musane and Nancy Drew, comic artist. She passed away this week as well. Linebacker Luke Kemp. He is a Florida International linebacker. Died at the age of 22. His brother is a tight end for the Buffalo Bills, I believe. Let's see, anyone else pass away? If there is, I didn't mark it with the D, so those might be the only ones that I know of who died this week. So still some pretty interesting ones as well. So I already did that. Talked about that already. So we're going with that. So if I come across some others, I will let you know. And actually, I can stay on this page because I'm done there. Nicholas Brendan of Buffy fame played Xander, and after Buffy got into a lot of trouble with drugs and alcohol and assaulting people and stuff like that, and has sort of been down on his luck. He was hospitalized this week for a heart issue, where I found out he's 51 years old. So that means he's 51. Let's say he turned 51 this year, 2022. So he was 2022, 2002. He was 41. He was like in his 30s playing Xander on Buffy, which is not unusual, but it just kind of threw me off by a little bit. I was like, really? That's kind of wild. So there's that. Kitten was born with two faces in Arkansas. That was kind of a interesting sort of story. You don't see that every day. Edinburgh, Scotland is the best place in the world, the best city, I should say, not in the world, best city to have a quickie in the UK, according to a new study. So if you want to have a quickie, go to Edinburgh, Scotland in the UK and have your quickie and quick all over the place. You know what I'm saying? NASA rover apparently photographed what they believe or what people are calling trash on Mars. No one knows exactly what this bizarre item was. It doesn't appear to be one of those things where it looks like, a rock that looks like a person or an animal or something like that. This actually physically looks like, a piece of trash, like a napkin or a paper or something like that. So it could be anything. Could be maybe something even from the rover or the landers. Who knows? But yeah, so that was kind of an interesting sort of thing as well. Jaguars have been spotted near the Arizona border for the first time since they were, hunted out of the United States. So apparently jaguars used to be a major part of the United States. I mean, Jacksonville Jaguars football team is named after them, but apparently they were hunted out of the United States. So that they were hunted, the Jaguars like, oh no, we're not going to stick around here. Let's go across the border. But now they're starting to make a resurgence along the border of the United States and Mexico. So around Arizona and Mexico. So that's pretty good. There's a new video game where you can be a creepy witch in the woods. The graphics look really, really kind of creepy and neat looking, but it looks like something really interesting to take a look at. Jerry Bruckheimer says Beverly Hills Cop 4 is set to start production in a week to 10 days, which is a surprise to everybody. Nobody had even considered that it was getting done, though it has been mentioned that it was coming, but no one thought that it was ready to go, but apparently it is. Excuse me. Good Lord. So good on that. Bruckheimer's in here is also National Treasure 3 has a finalized script now that Jerry Bruckheimer, also producing this one, has read and absolutely loves it right now. He needs to get the okay from Nicolas Cage if he wants to do it again, but he really enjoys he really likes this script and thinks it's going to be a good one, and we'll see how it connects to the TV show coming from Disney Plus soon, since it is set in the same universe. Maybe they'll have a crossover, who knows. But it could be kind of interesting if you do it that way. So like a Marvel movie and TV show. Elephants huddle around a female to protect her from hyenas while she's giving birth. So, animals are aware of, sticking up for others and protecting their loved ones and their people and their tribe and stuff like that. So that's really kind of a neat little thing. Starbucks has got a couple things coming up here. Starbucks has a cute little sea turtle mug that you can buy now to enjoy your coffee in. And just in time for Halloween season, pumpkin spice stuff has started to show up. I had some pumpkin spice Oreos the other day, and I've seen some other pumpkin spice stuff rolling around here. And I think I've seen some signs around Dunkin', so we have the pumpkin spice lattes coming back soon. But they now have a ghost mug that is actually an upside down mug that looks like a ghost, where you're drinking it. I guess when you drink it like this, it looks like it's upright. So I don't know, but it's kind of a neat little ghost Halloween sort of mug thing for your Halloween likes. And yeah, because fall is roaring in here soon. As I said, yes, it is only the 20th of August, now pretty soon to be the 21st of August. And roughly about a month from now is when fall actually starts. But we are getting to that point now in the year where technicalities really don't matter. Much how, they say Memorial Day is the start of summer, even though summer doesn't actually start till June 21st. Same thing here is that, yes, fall doesn't start till September 21st, 22nd, 23rd, somewhere in that window anyway. And yet, first it's, Labor Day is the last hurrah of summer. And also when people go back to school for the first time, it's like, okay, we're beginning of the end for us for summer, because my kids literally, they only have 5 days left of summer vacation. Technically, if you count tomorrow 6 and then Saturday and Sunday 7, 8, they have 8 days, and it's freaking them out a little bit. So it's freaking us a little bit because it's not that far away now. But no, that's all signs that fall is coming here real soon. And so another sign, besides seeing Halloween stuff all over the place and pumpkin spice stuff, is Apple stuff. There's a whole plethora of Apple stuff either coming out or soon to come out. And someone had created a bacon caramel apple grilled cheese sandwich. And I'm not sure how that would taste. It sounds intriguing, but I do not know if it would taste good with I guess it would, with the sweetness of the caramel apple, with the saltiness of the bacon and the beefiness of the bacon and the cheese. I don't know. It looks like, really? So we got that. That's definitely a sort of a fall sort of grilled cheese sort of vibe thing. And the other thing also, this one's actually also very intriguing as well. Angry Orchard, which does the ciders, the hard ciders, stuff like that, they've got a new kind coming out for this autumn, which is baked apple pie cider, which is probably different than their typical apple ciders. I think they have a caramel one out there also. This one are probably more of a cinnamon apple flavor one, whereas they have the regular apple one, and then they have the caramel one. But there could be some other stuff to it, because when you think of a baked apple pie, it's not just apple and pie; it's the vanilla ice cream on top of it, cinnamon, whatever you want to look at it. Like in college, we created a apple pie shot, which basically is apple juice, cinnamon, and vodka. And you shoot it, and you get the warmth of the vodka and the apple and cinnamon taste for a apple pie shooter. So that's what they need to do here. They need to do a Coke apple pie drink. Mango's cool and all that, but I kind of like the Mountain Dew apple that I had last year. It tasted like the hard candy apple flavor, but still it was apple, and I like apple stuff. So yeah, some good stuff rolling out here for fall coming up soon. Another good sign of fall. Okay. Since I'm going to, before I do another sign of fall, scientists at the University of Melbourne, whatever, are working to restore the Tasmanian tiger. Supposedly they're going to genetically create the Tasmanian tiger, who's been extinct since like 1956. And I guess create a bunch of them to try to bring them back into the ecosystem as well. So we'll see what happens like that. Halloween Fruity Pebbles is another sort of fall sort of thing. So you're going to start seeing Halloween everything. My grocery store now has 2 areas of Halloween stuff instead of the one they had earlier. But now Halloween Fruity Pebbles is the newest Fruity Pebbles flavor. And there's orange flavored Rice Krispies I think you talked about last week. So you got all those as well. And another sign of fall stuff is like Halloween, stuff like that. We've been talking about this for a while now because I love Tim Burton, and the Addams Family him and the Addams Family are a perfect match. For those who don't know, he is set to do an Addams Family TV show for Netflix, but he wanted to test the waters first by doing a show about Wednesday Addams. And we've seen little bits and pieces coming out of it, some of the casting, seen some pictures of them in costume. Well, this week you got the first full-fledged trailer for it, and it works. It actually looks kind of interesting. And now the thing that threw me off is, look, I love Louis Guzman. He's fantastic. But when I saw him as Gomez Addams, I was just sort of like, something about that doesn't look right. And I hated that thought because it's outstanding casting, because he's really a cool guy and a great actor. And you got Catherine Zeta-Jones right next to him as well. And she's gorgeous too. But then because people were complaining about, oh my God, they're ruining Gomez Addams after they see this, somebody posted the actual Charles Addams Family cartoon. And God damn it, if Gomez Addams does not look like Louis Gomez. Check it out. Go look up Charles Addams Family cartoons, and you will see that the version of Gomez Addams that Charles Addams, the creator of the Addams Family, looks a hell of a lot like Louis Guzman. And I think what throws me for the most part is the hair. The hair just doesn't look right on him. That's all. And that's the other thing also, is just like, oh my God, how can they be putting it's just a woke culture, putting a person of color in as Gomez Addams. Gomez. Raul Julia was Cuban or something like that. And people didn't seem to be too upset about that. And John Astin was John Astin. It was the 60s and he was great. But Louis Guzman is Gomez Addams. And you can't tell me otherwise. I'm going to have to get past that hair, but I think he's going to be really, really good at it. Hell, Oscar Isaac is voicing Gomez Addams. So they've had, so to be surprised by, oh my God, someone who's really Mexican or Spanish is Gomez Addams and not Raul Julia, who had sort of that, quieter tone that he could, didn't quite look foreign as much, or Oscar Isaac, who just heard the voice of and who looks kind of, I guess, again, kind of normalish, whereas you are brought to a fully Mexican-American in there. And Louis Gomez, as I said, is outstanding. And I have to get past it myself. It's not him. I'm fine with the casting. It's just, I don't like the look of him, but that's my own personal issue. And seeing this Charles Addams cartoon and seeing Louis Gomez is like, oh my God, you've got to get over this, because that's exactly how Charles Addams wanted Gomez to look like. And Tim Burton nailed it with that. So Wednesday's okay. I like the trailer. It shows a little bit of the sadistic humor, but not quite as much. And they're kind of, I'm going to watch it obviously, but they had her in a normal high school, which is what you kind of wanted to see, is her reacting, because that's what they did in the movies, stuff like that. But again, I got to get past it. This is a completely different thing. And they are sending her to a boarding school, which is for weirdos or outcasts or whatever. So in the end, it's just sort of, giving her a shot to do her own thing. But it looks good. It looks entertaining and it looks fun. And it's going to be, Tim Burton is going to be really in control of it. Danny Elfman's doing the music for it. It's the Addams Family, and I'm actually looking forward to it. It's going to be one of my fall watches to look at. Who should I go next? Sex Education, the Netflix TV show. British TV show. Season 4 is in the works right now, is in production right now, I should say, with missing a bunch of cast members, including the newest member of Doctor Who, is now no longer part of the show. I don't think, because he's doing Doctor Who, obviously. But they had brought in Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek in a new role. And so they've got him in there, so he's going to be in the new season, so that'll be good for those people like that. Crocs just do everything. They now have Crocs cowboy boots now available, so for your needs and wants. A Ferris Bueller's Day Off spinoff is currently in the works with the Cobra Kai creators at the helm. If they can do for Ferris Bueller what they did for Karate Kid, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. We'll have to find out for sure. Maybe you're going to make Ferris Bueller look like a complete tool, like they make Danny from Karate Kid look like a tool now. So we'll see what happens. A Saudi man has been taking care of more than 100 cats for 20 years. He's the Saudi cat man. Baseball, the Houston Astros AAA affiliate played a game this week where they scored 17 runs in one inning. It had 23 batters, 10 hits, 9 walks. One inning, 17 runs. I don't think that has ever happened. Even in the 30-3 game where the Orioles got annihilated years ago, I don't think they had a 17-run inning. It was just a consistent, 10, 5, 8, 7, 6, 10, 5, 4, sort of thing. So 17 runs is crazy. I guess I'll talk a little bit about this. I did name the episode High Drama. We're about half hour in. There's something that's sort of bugging me about my work. I tend not to like to talk about my work that much because I think sometimes some people from work have checked it out, and I've gotten a little bit of a cold shoulder or gotten blamed for some stuff for this. But you know what? This is my own little thing, and I'm not going to name any names or anything like that. So I'm telling you a general sort of thing. So we are a privately owned company. We have 2 owners. We have a warehouse manager and a warehouse assistant manager, which was my job, but that's a whole nother can of. We're not going to deal with that. And one of the good things about the company is that we have longevity. We've been in the business for a long time, and people who've worked there tend to work there for a really long time as well. We got people who work there 20, 30 plus years still working there. So they've been fairly good to us, but there was one person who worked there who I still think works there. I'm not exactly sure. It's all kind of confusing after what happened at work this week. But this person, and I'm not going to give any pronouns because I don't want to get anybody in trouble or think about stuff. The people who, are working and know this thing, they'll look at this and they can probably figure out who I'm talking about, but I don't need to spell it out for everybody. Person's been there for longer than I have. I've been there for almost 15, 16 years. They've been there for about 20, 21 years. And they're not a really well-liked person. The person has a kind of a bad attitude, kind of racist, kind of high and mighty, but they are a good worker, and they don't, do anything like too terrible. And yet, we've been during the summer, we hire college kids, stuff like that, to come in and help out where we need to because we get a little busy like that. And we've had a bunch of college kids in here who most of them are good kids, but they all don't like this person and always pass by them. They're chit-chatting about them and whispering about them and making jokes about them and stuff like that. Anyway, this person has specific things that they like. They have a particular cart they like. They have their own little office area where they keep their personal belongings. A box that says personal property. They keep their personal stuff in there, and they have a radio. And they've got, personal pictures up because everybody puts pictures up as well. And, toys and stuff like that. We all have that around our stuff. Anyway, things have been happening periodically off and on to this person for a while now. One of the managers who used to be there and has left used to absolutely hate this person. And personally, I think if you want to be a good manager, you don't hate anybody. You can hate them yourself, but you need to help everybody out. You can't let your personal feelings but that's just me. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not a manager, because they don't like that sort of attitude. They like the attitude where they bully and stuff like that, because let's face facts, the people at my work are kind of bullies, but we're not going to get into that really that much, really. So this one college student who has a connection to somebody else at work. Now, we don't know if this is the person who was doing the stuff, but it's pretty obvious because nothing had been happening for a while. Little things have been happening, but nothing major. And then this person went on vacation for a week and nothing happened at all. And then they came back and then everything happened all at once. Little things happened, like they would move the person's cart. Then the other day they went through the person's personal stuff and hid all their stuff and defaced art and property and moved toys up out of reach and put little stickers and stuff like that. They thought they were being clever, but instead they just enraged this person. And so they went to the managers, and the managers could care less. One of the managers got so mad, they said, I don't have time to deal with this right now. You're really pissing me off. This person, no matter how much you hate them or feel about them, and yes, maybe they're not the nicest person in the world, but nobody deserves to be a part of targeted harassment. Nobody deserves nobody deserves to have their personal belongings looked through, no matter how bad you may think they are, just because they said bad things to you or offhanded remarks to you or whatever. There's no reason to harass full bore like these people did and take personal property. That's the thing. They took personal property and hid it. And we haven't been able to find all of it. And they defaced pictures and other stuff as well. And nobody did a goddamn thing about it. And you start thinking, is that, well, if something like that happens, you should look into it a little bit, because it makes your workplace be unsafe. Anybody at any time now can go look through people's personal stuff, move it, steal it, whatever, and you're not going to care because it didn't happen to you. Now, if it happened to you, you'd be going full bore. We got to take care of this. No, it needs to be for everybody. And this company supposedly says they're here for their workers and how that's a bunch of crock of shit. And this just proved it more and more to me. So the college students left this week, so they're not going to be back until maybe Christmas at the earliest. And this other person who is getting the targeted harassment is on vacation. Don't know if they'll be back. They are close to retirement age. But it just the pure not caring that somebody's personal space was violated because they said something bad to you. Now, racism, maybe I can understand, but there's still no reason to go through people's stuff and take it and hide it. If someone says racist stuff to you, you go to the management. Now, maybe they didn't go to management because they knew that management isn't going to do anything, because honestly, do they really do anything? We had one person in the old building was stealing stuff, and they got caught, and they got him out, and they released him then. Then there was someone else who was toxic, who they got out. But that was the old building. The old building was different than the new building was. Now, new building is all about money and making sure everything gets done and sent out, and just hypocrisy and double standards. And it's driving me absolutely bonkers. Certain people have a different set of rules that they have to follow when others don't. So if one person does one thing and another person does the same thing, the other person gets yelled at, the other person doesn't. It's a double standard that should not be around. So that was the high drama this week, and it really pissed me off a lot. I mean, I wasn't connected in any way, but I'm the sounding board, because when I was manager, I was fair to everybody, which is what a manager should be, for God's sakes. And that's probably why I got removed, because they didn't want that. They just wanted total control of everybody and didn't want to have people have fair shakes. When you just get to work and do your work. That's it. Don't worry about anything. If something happens, oh well. We'll dig into it and we'll see what happens. But it's nothing to worry about, because it didn't affect them. I guarantee if someone goes to start taking their stuff and moving their personal things, shit will come down. They put cameras in and screaming and yelling. And sometimes I was like, I wish I should just go ahead and just do that and see the double standard and the hypocrisy it's there. Now, could I leave? Sure, I could leave, but I'm a veteran there. And I'm well respected as far as I know. I got my 3 weeks vacation and I got sick leave, and I'm pretty much left alone to do my job. And I'm still sore about the way the whole management thing went down, but that's something I already talked about in other shows, stuff like that. I'm not going to get into right now because I've already talked 10 minutes about this. I'm going to move on from that, but that's the high drama that went down this week. And I believe that, no one really, there was only one person that used to watch the show. I don't think they even do it anymore. I doubt they would get to the half-hour mark and hear the stuff. So this is just between you and me. Anyway, we'll find out for sure tomorrow or the next day to see if I get treated differently, but I highly doubt it. I doubt that they're rewatching it. So moving on, my old company, Diamond Comics, is suing GameStop for $3 million. So apparently what had been going on is that GameStop had been using Diamond to get action figures and pops and stuff like that. But the way the system works at Diamond is stuff gets allocated. And it gets allocated and then, it might not come right away, or they might have ordered too much or whatever. But here's the thing. So GameStop was ordering a lot of this stuff, and it's not going to come for months or whatever. Due to production, whatever, they have to do some things. And Diamond has already paid out of pocket to get that in there. And then what they do is they pay for the stuff to come in, and then they bill the customers to get their money back. So GameStop has bought all this stuff that hasn't shipped yet. And now they've been sending Diamond this list of stuff that they want to cancel, which I think part of the contract is you can't do that. We've already paid for it. It's going to come when it comes, and we're going to bill you for it. Because if we get it and we can't return it or whatever, we're going to be out all that money we paid because you didn't want it anymore. I think there's a certain amount you can get away with by doing that, but they were sending out cancellations for a ton of stuff. So I don't know who to really go for on this one, but find out about that. HBO Max continues its descent. They have eliminated 14% more of the staff working there. They have removed a number of content, including original content. They've also removed about 200 episodes of Sesame Street. It was a big deal when they got it, and now they don't want it anymore. And to try to recoup they're losing subscriptions at an alarming rate because they're doing all this bullshit. They're offering a 40% discount to join HBO Max, which is it's a big fucking joke. So HBO Max continues their downward slide, so we'll see what happens about that. Regal Cinemas, their owner, Cineworld, supposedly is filing for bankruptcy, which is kind of odd because AMC had similar issues, but during the COVID years. But now that movies are back and movie theaters are starting to get packed again and stuff like that, they are they're fine right now. And I find it weird that now Cinemark is having problems. And I'm not sure exactly why that is, but oh well, what do I know? Marvel Comics, who is owned by Disney, whatever, they bought CrossGen Properties, which was a comic company back in the, I guess, early 2000s, which is really good. I really enjoyed it. They had some really good content. They had some good creators on it. And it just was run a little badly by Mark Alesso, who died a few years ago. Anyway, Marvel got the rights to it once CrossGen's rights went up, and so they just sort of held on to the rights. But in order to keep the copyright up on it, you need to do something with the stuff so it doesn't escape you. And they still want the content for whatever reason. I don't know. So Marvel is going to be publishing like a one-shot of a collection of the CrossGen number ones. And I guess maybe they're going to see the interest in it and then maybe try to figure out a way to bring these characters back. So that should be interesting to see how that goes. So I always liked CrossGen. It was a really interesting idea, trying to get back to the old bullpen style that they used to do with Marvel in the 60s, where Mark Alesso had a whole production building in Florida, and he had the writers and artists who he hired to do these comics come down, and they created the characters and stuff like that, and they worked together in this environment. and they were able to schedule fill-in issues. Like if particular artists needed could only draw a certain pace, they could do like maybe 3 issues, and then if they start working on the 4th one, it would be late because it was taking them longer than they wanted to. So they had other artists on staff who could jump in and do a real quick, who were real fast at drawing, stuff like that, and fill in for the artwork for that while the artist did the next couple issues to get himself ahead again. So they did that. So it was kind of good. And the stories were really interesting. They all had a connection in some form or another by the scion that was on them. And so you had like, Negation and Mystic and the Ruse and, they had then they spread out even more. They had a pirate one, and they had the Way of the Rat, and they had just great writers and artists and fun, great stuff. And I really liked it. And then it just sort of went poof because it just started losing money, and creators were leaving left and right, and the books weren't coming out on time and stuff like that, and it just fell apart. I think I was still working at Diamond when CrossGen was still around, so that's why I got to see a lot of their stuff like that. So now we're going to do Anniversaries, since I don't have anything else on this page. The Beastmaster, which is one of those movies I talked about last week, which when we had HBO in the early 80s, was one that would be on all the time, over and over again. Beastmaster is celebrating 40th anniversary this week. The remake of Fright Night, which is actually not too bad. Colin Farrell, Anton Yelchin, David Tennant, and McLovin is in it also. Came out 2011 this week, so that would be 11 years ago. So it's hard to find a DVD copy of a Blu-ray copy of it. The original Fright Night is excellent also, with William Ragsdale, Chris Sarandon, and Amanda Bierce. High School Musical 2 is celebrating its 15 years this week anniversary. That's it. There's this page, right? Yep. It's on this page. Deliverance is 50 years ago this week. A very disturbing movie that I don't really recommend anybody to watch, even though it is considered to be a great movie, but it is a very creepy movie as well. Paranorman, the animated film, is 10 years old this week. 53 years ago was Woodstock. Okay. The Woodstock Music Festival in 1969 was 53 years ago this week. So 53 years ago this week, Woodstock was a full bore right there. It did a whole lot better than 1999, which I talked about last week. Mortal Kombat, the original 1995 movie. Anniversary is this week as well, 95, 2005, 2015. That's 27 years ago. 95 was the year I graduated from college. Smokey and the Bandit 2, one of my favorites, actually. I like it better than Smokey and the Bandit 1, to be honest. 1980, so that's 32 years ago, right? 80, 90, 2000, 2020. Yeah, 32 years ago, yep. That came out this week. Super Bad, talk about McLovin, 15 years old this week as well. So that's interesting. The Legend of Boggy Creek, which is the first sort of found footage sort of thing about Bigfoot, is 50 years old this week. That's a long time there. Expendables 2, I talked about Expendables 1 last week. Expendables 2 came out this week in 2012, so that's 10 years old. Uncle Buck came out this week 33 years ago. Another really good movie. I need to revisit that. I haven't seen it in a while, and I happened to watch the trailer of it just recently, and I was like, wow, this is really kind of cool. The Tales from the Crypt presents Bordello of Blood, came out in 1996. 1996 was a very interesting year for me. Is that right? Came out in 96, that would be 97. That's weird. No, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. It took me a second. The reason why it took me a second to pause is because in 1996, which would make that 96, 2006, 2016, would make it 26 years ago, I was working at a bagel shop. And I was a bagel baker, so I would be in at 3 a.m. and my shift would be over on a good day around 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock at the latest. So I had pretty much like the whole afternoon free. Granted, I had to go to bed at 8 o'clock, but I still had like the afternoon kind of free. So it must be 1996 then. I went to see almost a movie a week. I saw 51 movies. I believe it would be 1996. So that would be right, because that was when Independence Day came out, stuff like that. So I saw 51 movies in 1996. And I'm still mad at myself that I did not force myself on the last week of December to venture out into the storm. And there were some movies I wanted to see. I just didn't want to go and and go see it to make it even 52 movies. But I did see 51 movies in movie theaters, and Bordello Blood was one of them. It was I think it was a double feature. I forget what the other movie was. Maybe it was The Fan or something like that. But yeah, that's that. Usual Suspects came out 27 years ago. That's a great movie with a wonderful twist ending that I caught. Well, I figured out literally a half second before they revealed it. The minute that I heard the fax machine start up, I was like, oh shit, I know exactly what's going on and who it is. Woman in Red, 1984. That was one of Gene Wilder's last films. It was soon after did Gilda pass around that time? I'm not exactly sure, but it introduced Kelly LeBrock to the world. Armed and Dangerous, John Candy. He had his Uncle Buck, came out 33 years ago. And now we have Armed and Dangerous, which was another John Candy movie that came out a little later than Uncle Buck. Not as good as Uncle Buck either, but it had Eugene Levy in it. So it's pretty good. Stay Tuned is 30 years ago this week. That's a intriguing film with John Ritter and Jeffrey Jones about a TV that'll suck you into the TV and make you part of what's going on the TV, and you have to find your way out to survive. So it's the sort of type of movie that you kind of need to revisit or maybe reboot or something like that, because it's kind of a neat idea. Another kind of movie that sort of caught me off guard a little bit was Event Horizon. It's 25 years old this week. I saw that in the movie theater also. And when it went full bore Hellraiser at the end, I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to see this, because what they've been selling for the most part was the gorgeous Neptune CGI, the haunted spacecraft sort of thing. Had a good cast with Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne, but it turned into this, excuse me, gory horror Hellraiser torture sort of thing, which really off-putting, but it's still an intriguing film. Probably one I'm never going to see again, but it still gets a lot of kind of love from a lot of people. One movie that I absolutely adore, which I did not see in the movie theater, but is on one of my comfort food sort of films. Whenever I'm bored, I want to watch something totally outlandish or crazy. One Crazy Summer, which is John Cusack, Demi Moore, Curtis Armstrong, Joel Murray, done by Savage Steve Holland, who did Better Off Dead. It's a fun film. It's a film that's totally brainless, like Better Off Dead is, but it's a lot of fun, and you just gotta go with the flow. It's really, really good. Disorderlies, 1987, came out this week. Disorderlies was the Fat Boys. I think the rap group did a movie, and that's the movie they made at the height of their popularity. The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis came out in 1986 this week. Strange Brew, the Canadian film with Rick Moranis and I forget the other guy, about beer, Hoser. Came out in 1983 this week. Speaking of Neil Gaiman's Sandman, his movie Stardust, or his book Stardust, got turned into a movie 15 years ago, and it's a well-loved classic there. Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Nickelodeon sort of Goosebumps sort of show is 30 years old this week. So that was always kind of a good little thing. There's one I can't read right now. Something was 21 years ago. I can't read my handwriting. Spirit Room. That's right. That's what it is. Michelle Branch's debut album, The Spirit Room, came out 21 years ago this week. I like Spirit Room. It's got good vibe, and I had an idea for a YouTube show with Felicia Day where we would make videos of all the songs, because if you listen to the album, it basically, I don't know if this is my interpretation of it. I don't know if this is Michelle's interpretation of it, but to me, it sounds like the album is about a relationship that starts, meet cute, and goes through all the different sets of the relationship, where you're thinking about each other all the time, the sex, the comfort, about that. And then, years go by and things start, you get a little antsy about things, and then things go bad. And then you want to get back together after you have a little bit of a bad fight, but something breaks you up and you end up being broken up. It's a start to finish relationship thing. And it's my interpretation of it. And I think it's a pretty good, accurate if you listen to the songs. But of course, I don't know because I'm not the writer of them. But I already had an idea to sort of do a YouTube show where it would be a video done in the order of the relationship from start to finish, and had a setup for stuff like that. So it's 11 tracks, some really, really good work on there. And Drop in the Ocean and Everywhere are the two big ones for me. What's the other one I like a lot? Something Misery, Sweet Misery or something like that is another good one also. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And finally, also in 1987, one of my favorite movies, which I will watch again around Halloween, will be Monster Squad. 1987 came out this week in 1987, which makes it 25 years, right? 87, 97, 2007. No, 35 years ago, 2017. Yep. So 35 years ago. So Monster Squad is 35 years old. So very cool. Now I really have to watch it this Halloween. So that's it for Anniversaries this week. I forgot to neglect, I've been training my daughter how to drive. We had our second driving lesson last Sunday. She did very well. We had to use a different course, which had a lot more turns, and she just drove around it over and over again for about 40 minutes and really got the feel for how to move the car. So I think she enjoyed herself. We're skipping this week, obviously, because of camp, or rather kayaking. But we'll get back to it by next weekend. That's it. Hogwarts Legacy, the video game, open world video game that's going to take place at Hogwarts, which was supposed to come out in time for Christmas this year. Excuse me. Well, guess what? It's been delayed to 2023. So no new date has been set yet. Don't know if it's going to be the early part of 2023 or they're going to maybe push it a little further. I doubt they'll push it to next Christmas. 2023 Christmas, so it'll probably come out earlier than that, but it's kind of a shame because it would have done gangbusters for Christmas presents this year. But unfortunately, with video games, you never know what you're going to get. So see if I have any of those, if I can find any of those video game things. There's a couple of other video game stories that I wanted to tell you about. I guess it's not on this one. I talked about Cobra Kai a little bit earlier because the creators of it are working on a Ferris Bueller's Day Off spinoff. Cobra Kai is getting a fifth season, and the fifth season trailer for it came out this week. Again, I haven't watched any of it yet, but it appears to continue doing what it needs to do. And there you go. Two Crows bother a Pokemon Go player in Japan during the Japanese Go Fest they had. It was they were just going relentlessly after this one guy for I don't know whatever reason why, but it was, so they did it. Halloween, let's do some more Halloween stuff. Hocus Pocus, the sequel's coming out September 30th. Well, they're getting their very own Lego house, so if you like the Hocus Pocus stuff, you can now build it in Lego, the main house, I guess, from that. A life-size animatronic Oogie Boogie that lights up, that glows green, I think, is due out for this holiday season from Nightmare Before Christmas. It's kind of intriguing to see. It's kind of a cool-looking sort of creature, so that's kind of neat to see that. Weird New Jersey show is going to try to combine Stranger Things with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So it's going to be kind of a comedy, horror sort of thing set in New Jersey. So you can probably figure out where that's going to go. A dozen humpback whales have been spotted off of New York City. So that's interesting to see a whole bunch of humpback whales near Ocean City. That's kind of cool. Imagine this. Imagine you're driving, down the road, and you have to stop suddenly when you see not one, but two bears fighting each other in the middle of the road. So these bears are huge, and they're in the midst of a death battle, and they are blocking the road so nobody can come down either way. So all you can do is just stop and watch. And that's what happened this week. I wonder if anybody put bets on who was going to win or whatever, and what they were going to do and how long it was going to take. I don't know. It's kind of interesting about that. I missed this on my Halloween one. Twix and Snickers are turning their candies green for Halloween. I think I talked a little bit about that last week, but we got the official word this week that is indeed going to happen. So my dream world doesn't taste like mango, but someone else's does. All right, moving on here. A huge herd of 70 elephants was found in a national park. It's supposedly the biggest herd of elephants in the world right now. The world's oldest now crocodile is 122 years old. Wow, think about that. It's 2022. So 2000, it was born in 1900. Just think about that. Just think about that. This crocodile was born in 1900. It's 122 years old. Just think of everything he's seen. This crocodile, 122 years old, has seen the advent of flight, the advent of movies, the advent of TV, the advent of cars for the most part, lived through 2 world wars, a bunch of other skirmishes here and there, a presidential assassination, some political scandals, massive hurricanes that have destroyed. I mean, there's been tons of 1900 had a big one in Galveston, and 72 had one with, I forget the name of that one, and then Hurricane Gloria and Katrina and all that. It survived all that. It survived the turn of the century. 2 turn of centuries. It was born at the turn of the century and survived another one. Not to mention all the bullshit that's going on now. It was live from man landing on the moon. And probes going out into outer space. And all kinds of wild stuff. So 122-year-old crocodile. That's absolutely insane. Now, we know of, speaking of space, we know of binary systems with 2 stars, planets orbiting 2 stars, stuff like that. And Star Wars does it. But what about a tri-star system? One has been found, finally. The first ever 3-star star system, tri-star system, has been discovered. It's like a binary star. Instead of 2, you get 3 stars that planet's orbiting. And that's really kind of, it makes you think, how would, even 2 binary stars, how would that work on a planet like this? I mean, because apparently there was night on, on Tatooine, but I guess since they're all close together, it really doesn't matter. But would the heat be so intense, the light be so intense that it would be outrageous? I don't know. It's a good question. The Garfield movie that's coming out in 2024, I guess the animated live action one, has cast Hannah Woodleyham, Ving Rhames, Nicholas Hoult, and Cecily Strong have been cast in there as well. Little Caesars has candles now for their pizza scents. Of course, it could be fake, but not really sure about that. Halloween, again, I skipped this one too. Target is selling color change ghost lights. They're like little ghost things that color change. I might have to check that when we go to Target tomorrow to see. It might be kind of cool to pick one of those up. I did the Two Bears fight already. This is good for my wife because she definitely needs a hearing aid, but she's refusing to go get one. But the FDA has now approved the sale of hearing aids over the counter, so you can actually get it over the counter now. So that's a good thing for them. Signed. Oh, I'll save that for a little bit because that's a big story. A mom dies after being struck by lightning in Florida. That's always a shame. Lightning can be very deadly down there. In fact, a friend from high school had their house destroyed by a lightning strike and the fire that came after it, and they lost everything. They got back on their feet and they're fine, but still, you never get over that. It's something you just don't. They weren't in there at the time. They were on vacation, I believe, when it happened. So that made it even worse. They weren't able to get in and save the stuff they could. And really nobody could have. No, I guess it took a while for the fire department to get there because maybe nobody called the fire department because they weren't there. I swear to God, I keep seeing, I think there's a mouse or something over there, but I know there isn't. I just keep seeing movement over there. I'm just paranoid because we had a mouse issue months ago and we haven't had one since, but I'm always afraid that they're sort of still hanging around. Ocean's 11 prequel is set to star Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, who are re-teaming after the Barbie movie. So I guess it's going to talk about how that crew got all set up, I guess. I don't know. An official D&D virtual tracking system or gaming system is being developed by Unreal Eyes 5, so you can keep track of all your D&D campaigns on like computer and stuff like that, and actually have, show it happening in real time sort of stuff. So that'd be kind of interesting to see that. A beagle adopts 2 kittens and feeds them, nurses them like they're her own pups. That's kind of nice to see that. The USA Mullet Championships is your new sport obsession, apparently. Mullets are funny things, and apparently it is an actual thing where you have a mullet championship. So, okay, go America. This is kind of interesting. A woman comes on to men on Tinder and convinces them to buy an RPG called Nier Automata RPG. As they're getting talks like, you really should try this. It'd be great. We can hang out. We can play it sometime. And the people buy it, and then she ghosts them. So it's just like it's kind of a good way to up their sales to get this game bought. So I think it's kind of funny. Pumpkin spice cup of noodles. I think I mentioned it last year because this basically mentioned that it was something that has happened again when they did the story this week. So I didn't know that happened, but there's pumpkin spice cup of noodles now. That just seems a bit out there. Neve Campbell, not starring in Scream 6, has got her new assignment. She's going to headline David E. Kelley's new show, Avalon. So good on Neve. She's come back to mainstream TV there. Some sports news. Dick Vitale, whatever you want to call it, is cancer-free. So good on that, baby. Yeah, baby. Except the only thing I hate about you, Dick, is your absolutely adoration of Duke. But that I'm glad you're cancer-free, though. But now I think last week we talked a little bit about Deshaun Watson's joke of a 4-game suspension. But again, that was just... No, the judge who made the decision was going by what the NFL had done in previous cases. There had never been a case like this before, so they didn't want to overstep their bounds because it could really lead to a sort of a thing that said, this is what we saw from what's been done, and we can't say this because it's never been done before, and it's not our place to say it. This is what we can only say with what's been done before in other similar situations. But and then it kicked back to the commissioner, who ended up working with the Players Association, and now instead of getting a full year suspension, or basically he should have a full year, he should have a unlimited suspension, not knowing when he would ever come back. He should be kicked out of the game. Personally, that's my opinion. But instead, he gets 11-game suspension now, has to pay a $5 million fine, which means he'll be back in time around week 13 where they're going to play the Houston Texans. So don't tell me the NFL isn't fixed. He should have been kicked out of the league for what he did. It's absolute mockery. 11 games, a little bit better, but it should be much more than that. And to have him start his first game against the Texans is all poetry, and it's probably going to turn into the game of the week and blah, blah. It's just a bunch of bullshit. So we'll see what happens. Football season's coming up really soon, so hopefully, it won't be an issue. And by the time he comes back, the Ravens have run away with the division, so we'll see. Here's the big story for this week that I think a lot of people are sleeping on, and it's actually absolutely fascinating. Now, I didn't know this either. We did not realize that or come up with the idea that what killed the dinosaurs was a giant asteroid till like 92, 91, 92, somewhere around there was when the first scientific study said, hey, maybe it was this giant asteroid that we have this giant crater of that we've known about for centuries. Maybe that's something to do with the extinction of the dinosaurs. So it's now become pretty much canon that a giant asteroid crashed on Earth, knocked the Earth off its wobble, whatever, created an ice age, whatever. It was like a massive nuclear explosion out west that killed the dinosaurs. And that that's okay. We said, okay, that makes sense, and that the way things are and the way things turned out, that makes absolute sense in what we've seen science-wise. But then science decides to surprise us again with something new. This week, they discovered a 5-mile wide crater that they've dated to have happened during or just after the first asteroid. So what does that mean? That means that maybe one asteroid would not have been enough to cause extinction of the dinosaurs. It might have caused havoc across the world, but a second one very soon afterwards, very, very soon afterwards, could have put the icing on the cake there. So that actually makes things a lot more believable, I guess is the word. It's believable that an asteroid did cause the extinction of the dinosaurs, but do you think one in general would do that? Wouldn't you think that we might take at least some other stuff to do that? And now we have our proof that actually was two that caused the extinction of that. So I thought that was kind of interesting, personally myself. Jumanji has their own theme park opening in the UK in 2023. I guess that's kind of a neat idea. I don't know how exactly you would do a Jumanji theme park, but I guess you can figure out a way to do it, obviously. Some local news: the last 8 p.m. sunset in Maryland for about a year occurred this week. So from this point on, sunset occurs before 8 o'clock, which is not unusual because we know that from the first day of summer to the first day of winter, we start losing sunshine. It's incremental, but it happens. And now we're at the point where, okay, it's going to start getting dark now earlier. And then before you know it, it's going to be getting dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which I have no problem with, but I think other people do. Now, we've had a movie version of the Pirates of the Caribbean. We've had a movie version of the Haunted Mansion. We're actually going to have another one of that coming out soon. And now we have another movie based on a Disney ride. Big Thunder Mountain movie is in development right now, being helmed by Hawkeye directors Bert and Birdie. I don't know what the story is going to be, and I guess you can make any, Jungle Cruise is another one. I guess you can really make any story you want, but just name it after the ride. So, you can make it like a Die Hard on a train sort of thing, and just say that, they're circling the Big Thunder Mountain, and this is where the action movie takes place. Who knows? Viola Davis has joined the cast of the Hunger Games prequel. That's going to be a very big film. It's going to make probably a lot of money there real soon. The School of Good and Evil, based on the book series, starring Charlize Theron and many others, is due out now on Netflix October 21st, just in time for Halloween. So we should be getting our first. No, we got one trailer from it already. They're going to be having another Tadum convention in late September, so we'll probably see something else about that soon. Better Call Saul, which was a spinoff of Breaking Bad, ended its run this week with its final episode. And it broke AMC's streaming service because everybody wanted to watch at the same time. Now, we've had that happen before, Obi-Wan's premiere crashed Disney Plus and so on and so forth. So it happens. 2 MIT students have solved the Richard Feynman famed physics puzzle. So I don't know what that exactly is all about, but it's been solved. So congratulations to those who have it. Nestle, Coffee Mate has released a Nestle Toll House brown butter chocolate chip cookie coffee creamer. I will tell you all about that probably next weekend because I bought some of that. It's in stores now. I bought some of that this week, and we'll try it out probably next weekend, probably because I don't drink coffee here at home during the week. I do it only during the weekends, so we'll see what happens with that. I still have a little bit of my Rice Krispie Treats one. Let's see what else. Florence Pugh, if you've been, enamored of her, she is now single. She has broken up with Zach Braff. So, hey, you go and shoot your shot, man. So you can do it. Baby Hippo was born in a zoo somewhere. I don't exactly know. And the zoo decided that they were going to have a contest to name the baby hippo. It was a male and it has a sister. So they picked 2 names, and the winner is Fritz. So baby hippo Fritz has been named and is now out and about and enjoying himself. So hooray. This is the funniest thing in the world. I guess you could use it for Halloween, but I don't know. It's more probably to keep baby in one place same time. There is an octopus costume for your baby now. So you put the baby in this costume, and it's a pink sort of thing. You put in like pink onesie thing, and it's got all the giant legs. So they're like giant, so they can't really move. So it's like basically keeping them, trapped on a sofa or something like that. So I think that's it's funny, but it's also kind of, whoa, what are you doing to your poor kids? A couple were surprised when they got their electricity bill, and it was $18,000. They're like, what the hell is this? So they did a research. Apparently, somebody forgot to tell them that they own a road, and they were getting charged with the electrical bill for the road. Now, I don't know if that is indeed the case, that they do own this road, or it was a simple mistake by whatever. But apparently, they got a bill for $18,000 electrical bill. And they found out, well, we own our road. Now, I talked about the brown butter chocolate chip cookie creamer. Well, the Christmas creamers are already out also at the same time. International Flavors has got a Grinch themed creamers this week that are out already. It's the gingerbread cookie dough coffee creamer, and the peppermint mocha is out as well. So they were out at the same time as this brown butter chocolate chips. I saw them, all 3 of them, in the grocery store. So Christmas creamers are already out now, which is kind of odd, but okay. This is the one I can't read. Bloody Hell Hotel. That's what it is. There's another video game. The Bloody Hell Hotel is a video game where you play a vampire who's trying to open a hotel, similar to Hotel Transylvania, probably. But there you go. So you can do that. Scientists have captured the first ever image of dark matter. Okay. I don't know how you would do that, but hey, it's not as crazy as this next science thing. A Danish physicist has figured out a way to slow down the speed of light to 38 miles per hour. And then she discovered that she can manipulate it also. What the hell? That I can't even understand that. How the hell do you slow down the speed of light to 38 miles per hour. And how the hell do you know that you did it? It's absolutely astonishing. And science is amazing, you know? Twix has a new flavor coming out soon that sounds intriguing to me. It's called Twix Cookie Dough. So obviously it'll probably have cookie dough inside the Twix bar. So that's always kind of good. Friendly's ice cream has 2 new ice creams out for your tasting pleasure. Unicorn Power ice cream and caramel cake or caramel cookie ice cream. Both are out now. So I'm going to check out at least the caramel cookie one sounds pretty good. Continuing the whole Halloween sort of theme, I talked about the trailer for Wednesday coming out this week. You can stay overnight in a replica Addams Family house. So there's all kinds of replicas for everything. So if you're really into it, then go for it, man. It is Girl Scout cookie time, and this year they have announced a new cookie. It is a chocolate raspberry flavored cookie, a raspberry inside around a cookie iced chocolate cookie iced chocolate icing cooked cookie with raspberry filling is out there now. So go ahead and give it a try and buy some if you like it. American Airlines have bought 20 supersonic planes to make faster travel possible, which is really good. So instead of it taking 6 hours straight nonstop to get to California, it might take 3 to 4 hours now with supersonic jet. So that's pretty cool. It's a way to get more people out there, make more money and stuff like that. So it should pay for itself. The CW gets a new owner as Nexstar buys a lot of stock from them. So CW is going to be undergoing some changes soon. A lot of people believe that's going to be the end of the superhero stuff on the CW, with the Flash announcing the Arrowverse stuff. The Flash announcing they are finally going to stop after their 9th season. So we'll see about that. A Minecraft map has been completely mined after 5 years. So someone created a Minecraft map and has mined the entire map, every square inch of it. It took 5 years, but they did it. Is it you, my friend Shockdoor? Nah, it's not. By the way, check out Shockdoor. He does a live stream every day, but today, it's really Saturday, on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Shockdoor, Shocktor. He's my friend from high school. So there you go. The Wizard of Oz cannot escape the remake web. A remake of The Wizard of Oz is going to be written and directed by Kenya Barnes. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how you're going to do it. Are you going to do it as a musical? Are you going to do it as more hemmed more towards the books? Are you going to just change it around entirely? I don't know, but we'll see. But I don't know if that's such a good idea. The Wizard of Oz is the type of movie you don't really need to remake. I'm sorry, you just don't. The NBA, you got to give them credit for this. The NBA has decided that they feel that this election coming up, this midterm election coming up, is one of the most important elections of our time, and they are absolutely right. And they should probably be doing this in 2024 as well. But the NBA has decided that they are going to have election-themed basketball games the day before Election Day. Don't know what that means. I don't know at all what that means, but they are going to have election-themed basketball games the day before Election Day, and they're going to have 0 basketball games on Election Day in order to get people to go out and vote. Now, maybe the Election Day themed games are going to be a way to get people to get out and vote the next day, to get them, give them an idea of what they're, voting for, and to get these apathetic assholes who feel like, oh, I don't need to vote, whatever, that need to get off their asses to vote if you want to save this country. So I have to give the NBA huge kudos for that. I think it's smart. And it's really is the only sport that can do that. I mean, the NFL could do something that Sunday or even that Monday night. I guess they can do a Monday night election theme sort of thing for the Monday night football game. But you could always do something, like you do with the breast cancer stuff. You can make an awareness of, like, get out to vote, just sort of have, the players, record messages of voting and the issues and stuff like that. And that might be what basketball is going to do anyway. But I think it's a pretty good idea. All right, with the home stretch here, we're almost at an hour and a half. I'd say we probably got about another 10 minutes left here. So let's see if I'm right about this. So 125. Let's see if we're going to be done by 135. All right, here we go. Top Gun Maverick has surpassed Infinity War at the box office domestically. It's in the top 5 now, I believe. So it keeps roaring through there. And that continues to astonish me why it's doing so well, but okay. You be you, man. A baby porcupine was born in a Chicago zoo. It was absolutely adorable looking. They had pictures of it. It's so cute. The University of Washington School of Drama alumnus something Lennon is the 24th U.S. Poet Laureate. So I'm sorry I didn't get your name right, but we have a new U.S. Poet Laureate, and she goes to University of Washington, or went to the Washington School of University of Washington. 811 or something like that. I should probably look it up to give her proper credit. Let's see. Poet Laureate. Ada Limon is the new Poet Laureate. Congratulations, Ada, for that. The world's only pink manta ray has been caught in the Great Barrier Reef. Now, caught not in the fact that it was caught. It was a picture of it was taken underwater. So there's a pink manta ray. It's the only one in the world right now. So that's kind of interesting to see that. Henry Cavill has come back to finish filming The Witcher Season 3. So that'll be getting done sooner than later. There's an underwater horror game now. They were showing some clips from that. It looks absolutely creepy. Fans of Stray there's a game coming up soon about a pack of cats that solve crimes. So that's pretty cool. There's also a mod for Stray now where the stray cat fights the Doom monsters from Doom. Man puts his car up for sale in order to save his dog's life. I wish people didn't have to do that kind of stuff. Stuff like that should be, taken care of, and you shouldn't have to worry about it. What do I know, right? NASA is this. I think I talked about this before, but it's a stupid headline. NASA plans to probe Uranus. Ha 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 ha. It's Uranus. And sending a probe to Uranus is a great idea. To get we've only had one pass through by Voyager 2. I'd send one to Neptune also. Hell, I'd send one to Titan as well and send a rover to Titan is what I would do. But that's besides the point. So I have no idea what that says. So I'm going to move on from that. Reshoots have been completed on Secret Invasion. It is scheduled to come out early 2023. So any reshoots, I guess they were maybe changing some stuff up, adding some characters, stuff like that. They've been done, and now we are finally set, and we're going to get that all worked out there. The 10th Saw film is going to be released on October 27th, 2023. So that franchise is not going anywhere. I thought it would disappear for a while there, but it's coming back. The John Wick prequel TV series, The Continental, will be heading to Paramount Plus in 2023. So that should be, I think, is going to be coinciding with John Wick 4 coming out in movie theaters. I think it's coming out next year also. Johnny Depp is going to direct his first movie in 25 years. Yes, he has directed. He directed a movie, I believe, called Ghost Dog at one time. He is finally going behind the camera again after 25 years to direct again. So that's interesting. A Bengals defensive lineman retires at the age of 24 without playing a single game. I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. You lose your love for the game. You feel you're not good enough. You can't stand the fact that you might get traded or sent down or released or whatever, and you decide to nip it in the bud. So, go find something you're good at. Go for it, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll do that for my last. Sorry. J.J. Abrams and Stephen King are reteaming to adapt Stephen King's Billy Summers for a limited series TV show. Man, yeah, I guess there's a foundation where a group of people are helping orphan kangaroo joeys whose mothers have been hit by cars and killed. So they put them in sacks to make it look like they're in pouches, and they take care of them and feed them and make sure they are out there. And I guess maybe they release them back into the world. I don't know. I have no idea what this says. So I'm not going to question mark that one. Is that the only one then? So I know what this last one is. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. I wish I knew what this one said, but I don't. So, oh well. It's my own fault for being a terrible writer. So here we go. The final story for today, unless I figure this one out. I'm sorry, this is love relief or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm just trying to figure out this wonderful live stuff where I'm trying to figure out one right hand. Basically, this is kind of local news, but kind of not really. I don't know if you've noticed. I think I talked about this last week. I'm not sure though. I'm sure you might have noticed, and I think my mom was the one that mentioned this to me last week, is that this late in the hurricane season, there has been no hurricanes. If you go out and take a look, I think there's a disturbance somewhere out in the western part where they've got a couple, but I don't think there's anything. There's nothing in the Atlantic and nothing in the Gulf. And the last time when there wasn't any action in the Atlantic or the Gulf this late in the season, up here in Maryland, the following winter, we got 33 inches of snow. Now, the last time this happened was 2013. So 2014, we got 33 inches of snow in Baltimore. So is that a coincidence? Is it a correlation? I don't know. We'll find out. But it's something to look forward to, and you guys will be front and row center with it. All right. Because I can't think of this one right now, I am going to just end it right here, and we'll just cut that off right here. 461 is next week. Now, next week is the last weekend of summer for my kids because they have to go back to school on next Monday. This week also is my son's 13th birthday. That's on the 25th of August, so that's good. The State Fair in Maryland starts this week coming up. So does the Renaissance Festival. That starts this week. So we're getting into some stuff right now. The Ravens have their second preseason game tomorrow. I should say today, since it is Sunday technically. Sunday. So that's going on. So other than that, I can't think of anything else right now that could be going on. I'll probably be giving you my review of She-Hulk and the new Sandman episode. I'll probably write that down here. She-Hulk review, Sandman review, and my son's birthday, Noah's birthday, last weekend of summer. Maybe that's what I'll call the episode. Last weekend of summer. So we'll find out what is coming up. We'll find out if there's going to be any new trailers, any new stuff like that. We'll find all that out next week. What anniversaries we got coming up. So next week is the last week of summer here for kids here in Baltimore for their school. A lot of other schools and systems have already opened, but ours do not open until the 29th. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as I said, it hits you about 1:35, about 10 minutes. And I will see you on the other side. All right. Bye. Oh, yeah. There we go.